Hello, welcome to episode 2 of Diary of a GhostEO. I have a new guest today. Who are you again?
Sarah.
All right. Should we go straight into our, well, I'm still into our world,
Yes, let's
Ourcraft.
continue in our world.
It is dark. All right. So last time we talked about fashion. So this time we want to talk about
You don't have a topic?
the state of the world,
Maybe more specific.
gender
Oh
fighting.
God, it's such a grim topic. I mean, there's so many avenues to go down.
Yeah. I mean, I guess one thing that you could bring to my gentle viewers. Oh God, the zombie's gonna kill me. Ah, nothing's gentle anymore. But yeah. So one thing you could introduce to them is that TikTok and social media trend of the dark feminine. That
You're kind of what's the word? Sniping my ideas from my own videos.
you can make them better. This
Okay.
is like a draft.
So-
Nothing like these people. They will watch anything. Like they've watched like 70 episodes of this garbage.
Okay.
Okay.
So I would say the dark feminine, it kind of has like an aesthetic style to it, which is kind of like femme fatale, dark hair, red lipstick,
Right.
lots of images of Megan Fox and that kind of thing. But now it's become more of like what's the word? How would you describe
Social
it?
movement.
No, that's too grand. It's more
I mean, it has like
an
sort of-
ideological bent.
yes, exactly. I mean, it got a write up in the Guardian, right? Not the best write up because
Yeah, I
it's in
don't
the
know.
Guardian.
Was it the dark feminine? Was that what they were calling it? I don't.
But it's like kind of
Like they were calling it the femosphere. I mean, the thing is that there's all these different terms, and they all
Right.
have a lot of overlap.
I mean, it's sort of like for me as a boomer.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like what female dating strategy was before, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
And like it kind of has the same write up too, where like look at all these men. They are lonely, they hate women, and they kill them. But isn't this where women are saying is like, I don't want to date, just as bad? That feels like what kind of the general feeling I have about this.
So I would say, okay, there's so many different figures in this kind of
Right.
world, right? And one of them is called Shira Seven.
Okay. I don't
And-
think I've heard of her.
She's this. People call her the Sprinkle Lady
Sprinkle.
because she's very fast. She's very sharp and fast and making comedic statements, and then she says sprinkle afterwards.
Ah, okay.
But
I could do that. I mean, not the comedic statements, but I could say sprinkle. Would that help my brand?
No, because sprinkle is kind of like get money. That's so I feel like it's not your brand.
I guess so. Don't get money. Don't work.
No, but it's getting money through, kind of what's the word?
Right. I mean, if my,
Machiavellian means.
fair enough. But if my viewers want to find like some rich partner
Yeah,
and sprinkle, as they say,
you
I'm not
could say
opposed to
that.
it.
Yeah. You could say something along those lines and then say sprinkle.
Okay. I mean, she sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fun side to it, which is it's kind of funny, but then there's the like kind of grim side where a lot of people are struggling and they just want a rich partner so they don't have to like have their terrible job anymore.
Right. I mean, it's kind of
And-
like the dread wife trend and the stay-at-home girlfriend, etc., etc. Like it's all kind of in the same economic sphere, I guess.
Yeah.
What's their stance on like mermaidian underwater worlds
Ooh,
like
it looks
this
so
one?
pretty.
Pretty good, right? It's
Yeah, it
good
looks
color
pretty.
scheme. It's not
If
bad.
only we could all live here and then there would finally be utopia
Yeah,
and we
but-
don't have to worry about sprinkle.
That's true. But we can't because you see the bubbles; they go down if you live there too long.
Oh.
But for a while, it's nice.
It's beautiful from afar and then you realize what a dark, cruel world it is down there.
Yeah, I mean, there's also like these drowned zombies, which is like really fucked up if you think about it.
Yeah, I was wondering. I thought they were like divers.
Well, sort of. I mean, they are diving. Anyway, so who else is a figure in this movement?
Okay, so there's Shira Seven, and then there's the Wizard Liz, who I like.
I don't
think
know name. I love that name.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's also a negative side to her content, but I think a lot of it is pretty positive, and it's just kind of normal self-help things.
Right.
You know,
Now, what's she like? Does she say sprinkle, sprinkle?
no, but she's telling you basically she's just encouraging people to get out of situations where they're unhappy. That's the main thing.
I think that's good. If you guys, my dearest viewers, are in situations where you're unhappy, get out of them.
Yeah, okay.
This is the wizard ghost coming to you.
She says it in a more motivational way, and I do think she has a certain skill for doing that some people have and some people don't have.
Yeah, I've seen some videos of her.
Yeah,
She's fun.
Yeah.
She seems nice. Well, she seems to know what she wants.
Yeah. But the problem with all of this content is it's all about, it's a lot about money, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but that's the kind of...
Okay, so I would say dark feminine is about like trying to ruthlessly get what you want. Ruthlessly get what you want and not being walked over. Okay, that's a positive spin, not being walked over. But a lot of it is kind of supporting traditional gender roles, I would say.
Right.
And it's also not realistic.
So, okay, well, how is it not realistic? Tell us about that.
Okay, so a lot of these people who are watching this, right, they want to find a provider male. That's what they always say, right? But the vast majority... 666, as they say. No, don't say that. Okay. Absolutely do not say that. That is atrocious. So, what was I saying?
They want to find a provider male, but there aren't that many provider males. This is basically what Fresh and Fit is telling them.
No. Okay. The problem is not just there aren't enough. The problem is also that wealthy people date within their class, and this is a trend that's increasing now. And it's actually part of why wealth inequality is so bad, because a lot of people are finding a partner in their university, their prestigious university, right? Yeah. They're rich, their partner's rich. Now they both have a lot of resources to put into their kid, so their kid's definitely not going to fall down and become a poor, right? Yeah. So the whole thing
I've heard that like it's dating or like marrying outside of your class has become much less common. Like, and I think, oh man, I don't even remember what the number was, but I think like 30 or 40% of wealth. Oh God, what was the number? It was well put, but it's based on basically this not marrying outside of your class anymore. It's just like they're keeping it all together, you know? Elon Musk only marries a bunch of women who are rich.
Yeah. So the positive side of this kind of content, I would say, is that there's a lot of content which is aimed at men, which is like, you know, you have to use women and throw them aside, and these hoes ain't nothing or whatever, right? Yeah. And if women are just watching this rom-coms and things like that, it's not good for them either, because they're prime for, you know, being exploited.
Yeah, that's true. Like if a woman watches, like, I don't know what these I mean, I say Fresh and Fit, I don't even know their content really, but like, you know, all these guys, like, you gotta get these hoes, you gotta discard them, like Rouge V stuff from years ago, right? Yeah. Like to give a boomer flashback.
Yeah.
If there's like all the guys, I mean, I'm just saying, like, if all the guys are primed by this and all the women are primed by like Disney princess, you'll find the handsome man and he'll take care of you, then it's kind of like bringing a knife to a gunfight or nothing. Like just coming without a weapon to a gunfight, you're probably going to lose that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like even a knife would be better.
Yeah. It's like going into a knife fight, not realizing it's a knife fight.
Yeah, we mixed a lot of metaphors now, but I can see that.
It's bringing a cake to the knife fight, I would
That's
say.
Exactly. This is very, exactly.
Okay, this is so stupid.
No, I think we got it. I think we could fix the metaphor.
But what I mean is, like, if women are watching all this content, like, about this really romanticized stuff, and men are watching Andrew Tate, it's not gonna work out well for these women, right? And they're also they're not gonna be, what's the word? Their visions are soon to be crushed. You know what I mean? It's like good to have some realistic expectations that some people don't have your best interests at heart.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think generally it's just like you have to look at your situation realistically, right? Like, I mean, what economists think that people are like, right? You kind of gotta try to be a bit like that. You gotta look at your situation realistically, see what you want and how to get it. And it's just like, that sounds a bit, annoying, but that's just how the world is, though.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, if people are watching this content as like fantasy stuff, then it's fine. But it's just if people are really invested in this, they just need to be careful because they're vulnerable to, being exploited by people.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I feel like, so the way you post this dark feminine stuff, that seems like an antidote, not an antidote, but not really run into this problem. The problem seems to be more like this really rose-colored tinted glasses.
I think they both have kind of a bad side because I think they're both like the sides of the same coin. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I guess the problem is that they're kind of like, don't mess with a man unless he has like a three-figure income. Well, we gotta be realistic. People are struggling nowadays. I don't know, like if he doesn't make over 100,000, you can't date him, kind of, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I mean, look at the average, blah 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 blah. It's terrible, and you got, I don't know. And I mean, basically, you just need to find a partner that you can work together with on what you want, right? But
yeah, I mean, the most important thing is that they actually are willing to try it. That they care too, and that they put some effort in.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it is a bit bleak. It seems so.
I was looking at Reddit, and there was this guy saying, it was like a guy who's like 40, and he wants to date like 20-year-olds, and he's like, what does passenger princess mean? Because he's saying all of these young women have passenger princess and princess treatment and this kind of thing in their bio, which is so funny to think about. So passenger princess is basically like, oh, my man drives me everywhere and I don't ever drive. And then princess treatment is like, being treated like a princess. So that one's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of can figure that. I mean, maybe his problem is that he's an idiot more than...
No, I think he wants it to be spelled out. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it is exactly what you think it is.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, the passenger princess thing, I kind of saw that too on like... I mean, I'm susceptible to shorts and Instagram reels and that stuff, and I saw some of those. But it was kind of nicely done. It was.
No, I think it can be cute. But if you're putting in a bio, like,
it's weird expectation, I guess.
No, it's bad strategy, isn't it? Like,
I suppose.
Like, talk about being off-putting immediately, right? Like, if you're a guy and you see, I want to be treated like a princess, like it's like some maniac. Like, if you want to be treated like a princess, you just have to assess for yourself what the guy is like when you meet him. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, the thing is, right, like with these kind of dating things, is there's the two sides, right? Like, it's basically a sieve, right, for women. For men, they just like swipe right and or left. I don't know, remember which one is which. And need to get everyone, sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, they can maybe they can discern a little bit, but for women, it's like they have to like filter people out, right? And the question is, does this filter people out that want
that
something
you want,
good?
yeah,
that you want or that you don't want, right?
Because I feel like the kind of guy who sees passenger princess or I want princess treatment and it's like, great. I mean, okay, first of all, I think it's pretty unusual. I think most people are just not going to care what the bio says at all. But I feel like anyone who responds positively to that, they're a bit odd too, right?
Yeah.
It's just a strange thing to say in a bio.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like what it really screams is like I'm watching too much of this kind of content.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of like TikTok is a big part of my life.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not sure about that. But I mean, what did people say to the Reddit guy?
I can't remember exactly. I think it was pretty negative.
Date in your own age range kind of stuff?
No, it was negative to the woman putting that in their bio.
Oh, right, okay. I don't know. I mean, they know what they want. Fair, leave them alone.
Yeah, I mean,
they want to not learn to drive.
I mean, I don't think it really matters that much. It's like when people get mad at guys saying they're just looking for something casual, and they're like a guy who's like 35. People are like, "What are you doing as a 35-year-old who doesn't want a serious relationship?"
At least they're putting it out.
Yeah, it's like, at least they're being honest with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, then you can make your own decision, right? I think that seems Fair. But like people are so judgmental about others anyways, you know?
God. So I found the Reddit post.
And that meant me. Yeah.
I've seen this a few times on Tinder. That's a huge no. They wouldn't even be in my radar. Then nobody deserves princess treatment, including princesses. I mean, the thing is, princess treatment, what the hell does it mean? Like,
like
really,
the thing is, like, that's the thing. Like, you have to kind of spell it out, and then in the end, it's like, oh, I want to be treated nicely, or something like that.
Yeah,
I would like to get
it depends
someone
what
to buy me flowers
right?
once a month, or something like that, right?
Yeah. So,
I mean, I feel like a lot of girls, I mean, in my experience, pretty low standards.
No, I think that's more of a problem too. I think a lot of women are really trying, and the guy is not trying so much. And I don't know. I don't even put it like that.
Well,
I feel like
it's like a generalization.
Yeah.
You know.
But I feel like women are raised in a certain way where everyone, you know, is judging if you're not being really caring and empathetic.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's just a different starting point.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I'm sure there are women who are being totally obnoxious, but here it says, this is one of the quotes. Where is it? Usually the princess is also the dragon. You can't rescue any of them from themselves. Okay, princess treatment ain't about being rescued. You know what I mean? I do think princess treatment is a little weird, though. Yeah. It's just a bit strange to that whole trend.
Mm-hmm.
But everything, you know what it is? On social media, dating is treated like it's a power struggle, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. Kind of like people aren't thinking of like doing it together or whatever, right? Like finding someone.
It's about getting the most you can get.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's generally a problem. Like people are always like, oh, maybe I could do better in this way or that way. But then they also don't assess what they have like accurately. I think that's a big problem, you know?
Okay, I mean, this is a good comment. This is actually, there's a woman asking about like getting princess treatment in this post, and someone responded.
Well, what did she say? Like how to get it, or
how to get princess treatment when dating? Right. And someone responded, simple, raise your standards. If you want these things, communicate them. If the guy is unwilling to do so, move on to someone who will. Guys are not mind readers and prefer to be told what you like. If by date 3 there are no flowers, maybe find a cute, funny way to bring it up. Fair enough.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's true. Like, I'd also like date 3 flowers, right? I mean, I don't know what.
Yeah.
Like princess treatment, I think we have very different. Like, people can just assume anything from that, right? Like that's the thing. Right. So are we giving any shout outs to creators? The Withered Liz?
Yeah. I like her. I think most of her content's pretty positive and good.
Okay. And Rotator, no.
No. Okay. And Shira 7, I don't. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a little too. It's a bit grim. It's a bit too transactional stuff. Wizard Liz isn't really. It's more about walking away if you're unhappy than it is about finding, getting things.
Okay. I mean, that's good.
Yeah, and I feel like also Wizard Liz it's a lot about having confidence and not feeling,
I mean,
bad about yourself. Also,
the question is always like, where are you coming from, right? Like, I mean, problem with this kind of stuff is that it's kind of good. It's like you should have confidence, etc. Like that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
People should have confidence, but the people who mostly respond to this are the ones that have already way too much confidence. It's like, yes, I should be treated even better, Like that's often a bit of a problem. It's like you can't really tailor these messages individually.
No,
but
I guess
on the whole, I mean, it's good for people. For women generally, I think it's probably better to have more confidence.
Yeah. I mean, you read that thing I posted recently about how young girls think, okay, so there was some little test thing, and it was like a kind of, I don't remember exactly the details, but these little girls basically they got the same scores as the boys did, but they felt like they did worse, or they felt like they were undeserving of the same reward generally,
right,
than boys, right? Like not even boys. Everyone was assessing themselves, I think.
Yeah.
and girls were, basically assessing themselves as worse than they are. And so they were talking about how this would work in salary negotiations, because it was kind of replicating that.
Okay. That's interesting.
And what they said too is, so this one of the reasons women don't ask for a raise is because they're worried that it won't be likable anymore. And this test kind of tried to it tested for that, and they found that that wasn't the reason. It was more of a confidence thing in this case with these kids.
Well, can you explain this a bit? Like they were worried about that, or like?
No. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons women don't ask for raises apparently is because they don't want to appear unlikable.
Right.
And so when it came to this test with these kids, and
they were testing whether these kids also didn't want to
they were asking them about like why they said it.
No, they actually thought they were bad or whatever, even though they weren't.
Yeah, basically it was a confidence issue.
I mean, it's kind of interesting. I wonder, like, what because that Dunning-Kruger test, the famous one where like people who are not as skilled at something overestimate their skill.
Yeah.
I wonder what the gender gap on that is. I never saw that.
Yeah, interesting.
That might be interesting. Well, you have anything else to say on this topic?
No, I find this topic pretty depressing, honestly.
Right. Well, think of a happy topic for the next one. And also, I think
you know what it is? Okay, sorry to interrupt.
No, please go ahead.
No, I feel like it's depressing because I feel like relationships should be the one escape from. Obviously, you can never escape from the economic system, right? But I feel like a relationship should be where two people are on each other's side and they can kind of escape from the terrible things going on in life generally, and they can have fun and be happy together. And so I feel like this kind of content where you're so adversarial to the person you're dating is just so bleak, because it's like, this is miserable for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, it's true, right? Like, it's kind of it's sad because like you kind of, I wish it wasn't this way, right?
Yeah.
But then you look at like economic outcomes, like on a statistic basis, and you're like, oh shit, people need to start advocating for themselves, especially women, right? Yeah. They're like, oh, there's a lot of women in old age poor because their husbands didn't plan for them.
Yeah.
Like they live 5 years longer and they're just fucked, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, I mean, it doesn't need to be adversarial, but like at least
it needs to be addressed.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Anyways, talking about things we haven't addressed is you're like some sort of avatar.
Yeah, isn't it cute?
It's pretty good avatar.
How small I am.
Ah. Okay.
Look at me go.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I think it was good. I think it's good with the avatar. And maybe we think of a better, well, not a better topic, but a more uplifting topic for the next one. And until then, my followers should stay.
No, I'm not saying it.
Okay, guys, you should stay spoopy. All right, see you later. Bye.